Sumter Today is presented by USC Sumter, Sumter Tourism, and Prisma Health.
My name's Chase Ferguson. I work at Alice Drive Middle School. I teach 8th grade South Carolina History Honors. I was just collaborating with the Department of Natural Resources, University of South Carolina Sumter, and the City of Sumter. We have summer ducks, aka wood ducks, that are native species here in South Carolina and Sumter County, and we put up nesting boxes. We installed 2 today, and those nesting boxes allow mother wood ducks to come in. They fly straight into the box. They hatch their little ducklings, and then the ducks will literally just pop out one at a time once they're ready to go out and and reach the real world. And it's installed with a predator guard that keeps things like raccoons and squirrels from entering the habitat for the little ducks. And it's just a way for us to give them a safe place to reproduce and raise their young, so that we don't have too large of an impact on their natural habitat. So for everything we destroy, we really need to rebuild or replace. It is challenging to do all of that in a classroom, because part of a historian's job is to make things come to life for people, because if you can make it come to life for them and be real in the real world, something tangible they can see, touch, or experience, that's something that they take with them for a longer duration throughout their life than it is if it's just pontificated on or spoken about in a classroom. Mm-hmm. So coming out and doing real world experiences, learning what the wildlife and the actual natural habitat looked like in our state before European settlers even showed up, and what type of native species were here, is really important for the students to have a good grasp of what our state's history is. With this much man-made infrastructure that's been put into place, we have to make room for the natural wildlife to continue, because they're a keystone species for us. So if waterfowl are struggling, and that tells us that our littoral waterways, our inland waterways and stuff like that are not meeting their habitat needs, well then that affects things like fishing for us, and that's a resource humans rely on for food, right? And then natural vegetation, even just for the creation of oxygen. They consume the CO2 and then give us oxygen back. So it's really interesting how it's all a symbiotic relationship, mm-hmm. right? And if we want to have a healthy habitat for us to live in, it also has to be a healthy habitat to a certain degree, at a minimum degree, for the animals and wildlife as well. I think kids are more aware of conservation and environmentalism now than ever before. And there's a fine line. I think we as human beings can become too engrossed in environmentalism, where it's to the point where we're trying to do things where people can't really exist. Mm-hmm. And look, we need to take care of human beings first. They're the most important thing. But well, guess what? Our habitat, our wagon, the proverbial wagon, is hitched to theirs too. So we have to take care of their habitat as well, and make it a place that we can both live and exist. And so that's something that kids are very just sharply aware of nowadays. A lot of them are into things like recycling, reusing things from the past to handle a new task, and also just preserving the wildlife and the wildlands that we do have, so we can come out here and experience and be in it. Because being able to come out here and be a part-time biologist is really important for us to understand things about ourselves, and even just have a sort of a spiritual connection to it too, right? This is the land where we come from. It provides the food we eat, the air we breathe, and everything else. So it's important. It's a healthy thing.
No one takes care of families like Prisma Health. As South Carolina's largest health system, we have nearly 600 primary care doctors across the Midlands and upstate. So you can choose the one who's right for you. With a more personalized approach, more locations, and more convenience, including 24/7 virtual urgent care and online or in-person visits with your primary care doctor, we're doing even more to help you be your healthiest you. Prisma Health, the primary care experts.